Here we are in Metal Talk. We're here in sunny Camden today.
Right.
And I'm here with Tarja, who's not only got a stunning voice, but she's looking stunning as well.
Oh, thank you.
And you got like a new album coming out actually in August,
Yes.
which is the Shadow Self. But before that, it was quite unique. You're bringing out a prequel album, The Brightest Void. It's got a lot of interesting stuff on there. So what's the idea behind this album?
To be quite honest, I mean, I ended up writing lots of songs. Lots of good songs in that sense that I felt that I didn't want to give them for bonuses or, it has happened to me before that my songs been lost in translation. I mean, they've been lost one way or another. And these songs, particularly when I ended up writing, I felt they're very strong songs. I didn't want to get them wasted. So I talked with the label people in Germany and I introduced them the subject that could we please do something with it, an EP or something special, that because they've been writing, I wrote them at the same time that I wrote for the Shadow Self. I mean, they are connected, these songs, but they are just, I don't want to come up with a double album. That's too much. I mean, it's too much. And as I'm always challenging my audience with my music, it would be too much for them to bear emotion-wise. So we came up with the prequel, sort of not like in movies, but the prequel sounds like a beautiful word to it. But it's a thing that I wanted to bring the sound of the album itself already in a daylight, and I wanted to also bring something that is there to overall the world that is there to become.
I'm saying it's quite an interesting package actually, and let's start with the leading single, No Bitter End, which you shot a video for, and quite a lot of fans, they said it's got quite a commercial poppy feel to it. Was that intentional?
Well, in that particular song, actually, my goal was to reach a proper sound for the band. I wanted to have a song that really kicks hard, gives me energy, which is that when it comes to guitars and how like hard riffing guitars, that is the love of mine when it comes to metal also. But in this particular song I wanted to go from the beginning until the end, like without any breaks. Not like the other songs on my album are quite progressive and the other end of it, very different and diverse. But in this song particularly, the band sound was the one that I was seeking for. And I'm super happy what Tim Palmer managed to do with it.
And it also comes across as a great live number.
Yeah, it's a great energetic.
Yes,
it's an energetic live number and fun number to do. And I do enjoy performing so much today. It's like it's so important part of my life to be able to front the people and have fun and go from one atmosphere to another one. That is super important. Somebody's having a phone.
That's the British way, they toot you when they like you here.
That's the way in Buenos Aires too, when I used to live over there. That's a lot more.
And you got a lot of guests on this album, and one from your home country, Michael Monroe, who sings on
my
Heaven
very
Hell.
dear friend.
Yeah, and was he somebody you had on your wall as a teenager?
No, he was not in my wall, but he has always been the one that I have respected enormously. I got to meet him a few years back. We were having like a Finn festival, Finnish rock bands, metal bands were playing in Russia. And I met him there. It was like a love for the first sight. I mean, he hugged me like 7 times and we got a bond. And that bond continued when we started working in the Voice of Finland TV program together, and it was unbelievable. I had this song, like a demo I found from my files in computer. You know how it is. You should never trash away music. You should never delete things that you've done or you've worked with, because particularly in this album also I'm taking songs or files that I was working already on my first solo album, but I didn't feel that the time was ready for those kind of songs at the time, but now it was. And for this song as well, it was like that. I felt like it was a little bit too much rock and roll for me.
It's actually like a very Alice Cooper kind of song, that's what it reminds me of.
It is very much 70s, 80s, bit of that moody thing. But Michael told me when I introduced this, I played him the song that I found. He said, "Wow, it's a really metal song. It's the most metal that I've ever done in my life." I said, "Wow, well then we met in the middle because for me it was just the rock and roll aspect that didn't make me start working immediately the song. But when I had him on board, it was obvious that
it comes alive. And is it him playing the saxophone on the song?
He's playing the nose flute. He's playing the saxophone, the mouth.
Because I think, especially younger metal fans don't realise that Mike Monroe, they were the only band that came out of Finland that was successful on the rock circuit back in the 80s, and it was unheard of for bands to come out of Finland back then. So
living legend. The first ones definitely who made an international career and still is the icon of the glam rock.
And of course, another special guest, which surprised me actually, on Eagle Eye, you got Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers on drums, and when you do hear his drumming on the Chili Peppers, he makes it sound so easy, but when you see him play with other artists, you think, yeah, he's special.
He's special, and I made him play a very special song. Well, first is the song Demons in You. When I wrote this song, I thought of him sort of because of the grooviness and the organic feel in the song, even though it's very hard. It's metal song, it's really hard in sound and the guitars and all. But I had him in my mind because of his way of playing. But this happens all the time in my artistic life because I have this beautiful freedom to really direct people that I have in hand in order what the songs really need. And Kevin Chow, my bass player, has a good relation with Chad Smith, and there is the, you know how it is, you talk with people and people say, yeah, let's do this, and he ended up playing 5 songs on my album.
Oh wow!
And so there are many more songs in the Shadow Self actually. That beautiful player, beautiful sound, and when it comes to drummers, I'm using 4 drummers on the album. If I wouldn't care how these people are playing, I would use a drum machine and I mean seriously, I would trigger everything that it's been there. But why on earth? I'm so conservative in that sense that when it comes to producing my songs, I want to have that organic feel of the player involved. So I really hope I have captured that on my record because I feel it's there. I worked very hard on it with Tim Palmer. It's like a learning process all these years. You know, it's been a journey that I have taken and learned extremely lot from the great, brilliant musicians working.
And of course, you've been 10 years as a solo artist this year.
Yeah, it's also...
That's gone quick.
It's gone very quick. A huge amount of new things in my life, but it's, as I said, it's a learning experience, as life is in general. I mean, if you are open for new things and if you're open to yourself, life has taken me away from Finland. I've been living in Buenos Aires. Of course, the cultural differences and all that. Part of me, what I am today, how I feel today, everything is, because on this album, Shadow Self, I'm talking about my own self-discovery sort of into myself and discovering my own darkness, being my shadow, creative shadow. We'll
talk a bit more about your darkness and your openness in a second, but just going back to The Brightest Void, there's a couple of interesting cover versions on there. One is actually a Paul McCartney track, which not many people may know because it's actually quite a recent song from him.
Yes. It is.
Memory Almost Full. Tell us why you picked that song.
Memory Almost Full. House of Wax. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, House of Wax. It's from the album.
From the album, yeah. Exactly. When I heard this song, first of all, my husband is a huge Beatles fan, and so I've heard of it all through these 16, 17 years, everything, and I've got myself very much involved. But when I heard this particular song from Paul McCartney, I fell in love with it. I said, it's so dark song, so dark song from him. Interesting. So there is a darkness in him too. So I felt I would love to take it carefully and make my cello player Max Lilja to make cello orchestra for the song, which cello represents me one of the most melancholic instruments. It's like a human voice, besides piano.
Yeah.
Cello is a beautiful instrument, has made me cry. Have been using cello since the beginning of my solo career. It's been, and still in the live shows always, there's been so wonderful, wonderful dark song.
Have you sent that song to Paul McCartney to get any feedback from him?
No, but I would love to get it. Peter, whatever, good or bad.
Obviously, a lot of people do cover his songs, but I think he'd be very impressed by it. And
me singing one of his songs is quite interesting.
It'd be a good way to get to meet him.
Interesting.
And also, you done Goldfinger, Shirley, Bassey.
I'm a huge James Bond fan. Yeah, since many years, and I'm really looking forward to these songs. Every time there's coming a new Bond movie, I'm like, who is the one, who is the one? And I think another love of mine has been Muse on the album. I think they are influenced also one way or another. I can hear the influence on their records. So I've been doing that since ever I started my solo career, somewhere or another, bringing the James Bond theme into the picture. But in this Goldfinger, it was a challenge for me. Many years ago, I had to sing this song in one TV production. And I found it very, very difficult song to sing.
Because she has got an incredible voice herself, Shirley
Incredible.
Bassey. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, that it was so hard at the time that it kept on ringing in my mind, you know. And I dared to take the song now, last November, to South America. We were rocking it in more or less in the same arrangement that is on the album now. And people enjoyed it. They never expected me to do such song, and so they really enjoyed it. And I dared to record it. And because I realized that time has passed by, I've learned something. I learned from singing. It's the same happening in opera arias, for example. If I take an aria that I had trouble with a couple of years ago, and I take it now and I sing it without those problems, it's incredible satisfaction that it gives me to feel that, hey, it's motivating me. My voice, the training that I do as a lyrical singer still today is super important.
Fair enough. I watched you last night. You did a private show in London at the Metropolis Studios, and you said on stage how you like to. There's no limits in any emotion that you sing. So is that important to you to get express all your feelings in your music?
Music is the emotion for me. I definitely, as I said yesterday also, I really have my limits. But when it comes to emotions, it's really, if I feel for it, I go for it. If there is a challenge involved, I love challenges in general. I'm always putting myself into my own limits. It's crazy, sometimes it's a bit hard. I'm very hard on myself, but it makes me who I am. I work hard, I'm a workaholic, even my fans are calling me workaholic. No, but yeah.
Are you an emotional person in your private home life?
Yeah, very. I burst in tears and I laugh a lot. But I consider being a very positive person. But then again, there is this darkness in me that makes me write music, and that's the shadow self. So that's there is this light and shadows that are in me, and which is a great thing to discover, sort of.
So when the Shadow Self comes out in August, that's the album proper. So like you say, it's going to be a very dark, personal album. So what we can expect from it?
It is heaviest sort of, I would say it's the heaviest, but the most diverse album I've done so far. It's still, the diversity is there and it will always be. For me in my music, the hard sounding guitars and the guitarists that I'm writing songs with is one of the creative forces. But then again, it's the symphonic side in my music, which is based in Los Angeles with the symphonic orchestra arrangers and the film composers. That's the other half. And those two things are so well connected now. They are very natural in my line of work, and the team it's so solid that everything feels like it's in the correct place. I feel good and confident. That's why Shadow Self is really like, it's something that is, I could say that it's definitely the most solid album so far for me.
And you've got some touring dates coming up this year. You are going to be a busy girl. We're going to be hearing about you all year round. But you're going to like China and Taiwan, and Hong Kong for the first time.
Pretty soon.
Yes, yeah, isn't it? This month, I think it is.
Yeah, like very soon we're going there. But on the other hand, there will be a lot of festivals in Europe this summer. And October we start touring with the album itself. And then that, God knows how long it will take.
And obviously, in your private life, you're a mother as well. So how do you balance your private life with the working life?
Well, I just saw my daughter is one floor down. she's here in London with me. She's been, to be honest, she's been everywhere with me.
Yeah.
She's been in the recording studios and everything, and in all the tours with me. She's adopted this way of crazy life.
Yeah.
But being a healthy, super healthy world traveler, she's eventually gonna start her school in September, which will be a change of life.
And would you recommend your lifestyle to her when she grows up, like as a singer?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Obviously, she is talented in music. She's been influenced by both of her parents. But on the other hand, I would love her to find her passion in life, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, as long as they enjoy what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Because what happened with me, I was the first one in my family. Everybody's super talented in music in my family, but I was the first one that decided to make music professionally. And my parents were always, go for it, do what you feel. So if I can give that back to my little one, I would definitely do that.
Marvellous, that's great words to hear. Tarja, it's been lovely talking to you. I could talk all day, but the album, well, the prequel album, The Brightest Void, is out now on Ear Music, and the big one, The Shadow Self, out in 2 months' time in August, and all the best for the future.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you.